guys, today I wanted to talk about comparing ourselves to other people, and I know that a lot of us do this in daily life. For instance, if you're going on Instagram, you'll compare yourself to people online who show the perfect side of them, right? So I want to talk about it in a business sort of and talents kind of perspective. So not very long ago, I actually went through this myself, and I was feeling very down on myself and quite hard on myself for what I've achieved and where I've got to regarding my art and stuff. And I felt very much like, I've been doing this for, I think it's over 3 years now, and why am I not like these other people that I'm seeing on Instagram that get to where they need to be now? They get to that place so much quicker, like the people that just have so many followers overnight. And for me, I don't like the whole chasing after followers kind of thing. It feels quite negative and fake to me, so I don't like that. But it's really hard not to get down about it and not to compare yourself and to compare your followers, to compare your likes. It gets ridiculous because there's so much more to life than that. But I think from a very straightforward business perspective, it's hard because those extra followers and people seeing all those posts and engagement and stuff would make a huge difference to your business, and that's actually so difficult to get out there and to have people see your stuff. So I was getting quite down about it, and a lot of the times it was also about the fact that there were people that were younger than me, and people that were younger than me, more successful than me, and had better art than me. And I wanted to talk about it because I think I've realised stuff about it, and I know that a lot of us will do it, and it's fantastic if you don't do it. Really, it's amazing if you don't do it. I think it takes a lot of strength not to do it, but it's also very human and natural to compare yourself to other people. I mean, I think we all want to be the best. Maybe that's a Leo thing, but I feel like we all do want to be the best, so I realised that we're all on our different paths, right? We're all at different stages of life, and we all want different things, so our path of life is always going to be different to that of somebody else, but yet we will still compare ourselves to that person, even though they've taken a different path. Do you know what I mean? So for instance, I would compare myself to people younger than me who have like 40,000 followers or something, right? And they have all these business opportunities and things, and they are doing so well, and it's really awful because it brings out like a jealousy, and I don't think it's a very positive feeling, and I want to try and be more positive. But yeah, so I was seeing these people, but what I realised was, okay, so my life path is that I left home when I was 16. Not great, but luckily life sort of worked out for me anyway. I got quite lucky, but it wasn't without its difficulties. And so I left home, and then I had children, and I got married, and I now live in a house that I own. And I think when I look at that, and I look at the fact that I raised children for a lot of my life so far, not, a lot of my grown-up life, from being a teenager, older teenager to being an adult, a lot of that time I was raising children, and I didn't have time for this artwork and things. I didn't even know what I wanted to do, and I think I only realised what I wanted to do after I had my second daughter, and that was like 2013 or something was probably when I realised it. So, where was I? So I kind of feel like, for myself anyway, you know, I was doing that. If I had been focusing on my art then, instead of having children, instead of focusing on my relationship, instead of building a life, building a family life, life around family, life around love, if I wasn't doing that and I was focusing on my art, then maybe I would be there now, you know. That would have been a long time to be working on myself and things, but I didn't do that, and I can't change that either, because even back then I didn't know what I wanted to do, so there's no way I could have been where I am now. Like, I couldn't be here back then because I didn't know that this is what I wanted to do. So I can't change it, and I can only really sort of be where I am now and understand that I have achieved so much. And I think that's what I wanted to speak to you guys about, because I wanted to say, like, you've achieved so much too. No matter what path you're on, you've achieved loads, right? So if you're starting out and you're young and you still live at home, right? But you finished school now. Now, like, you know what you want to do and stuff. That in itself is a huge achievement. You know what you want to do, okay? Or you're about to have your first child or something. That's amazing. Not everyone can have children. Like, you know, you're starting a family, which is like a lot of humans in this world. That's what they want. They want to start a family, and you're doing it. So I think there's a lot of things that we can look at and we can say, you know, the grass is greener on the other side, and oh, I wish I could be that person, I wish I could be as successful, and I wish I could have as good a life as them or whatever, but we're all on our own path. And I think try not to let that negative feeling overwhelm you, which is really hard. I do understand it's really hard, because it's hard not to sit there and think, why not me, you know, like, but think about all that you have, alright, and all that you are capable of having. So yeah, I wanted to say that, and I wanted to sort of explain a bit about what I was going through and stuff. And I think the thing is to remember is that with things like Instagram, social media, all those kinds of things, everyone's putting their best self forward, right? No one is showing you the ugly, because no one wants to see the ugly. So everyone is putting their best foot forward, and you're not actually seeing the messy life behind it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I say like a lot, I'm sorry, I've just realised that. But yeah, so what I post on my Instagram now, I've realised, like, what looks good in my pictures, okay? So with my art business, I know what looks good, and I kind of have an idea of what stuff is going to be more well appreciated or whatever, so I can use that to my advantage, right? But if you're just starting, you don't know this stuff, like, you haven't had that practice experience or whatever, and I think another thing to remember is maybe these other people have. Maybe they've had someone they've hired to help them. Maybe they are just really good and passionate about that kind of stuff, like understand algorithms and all this rubbish that you hear about. And yeah, and I just think that it's not healthy to try and succumb to those kind of feelings and to bring yourself down from someone else's success. Does that make sense? Because they will have their own problems, right? Everyone does. They will have their own problems, and they will have things that they probably look at and think, oh, this person, like, I feel like even if you're up there, you're still thinking that, okay? I think it's almost like we all want to chase this, like, being the best thing in our lives, and I don't know if we can really let go of that, but yeah. I think it's better to focus on what you enjoy, focus on how you like your stuff to be. So, for instance, if you are posted on Instagram, focus on what, like, you like. So, for instance, I like purple, so I did a lot of purple in my Instagram pictures, and I like it. I think my feed looks really nice. It makes me happy, and I think in turn that makes everyone else happy. It's a weird sort of thing to describe, but yeah. And I think even if you're not on Instagram, right, and you think like, oh, I'm never going to be as good as this person with their jewellery making or with clay making or whatever your talent is, and you're thinking, oh, this person's better, they've also had to go through a lot to get there, okay? So I don't know if I'm the best example, but I've been drawing for pretty much my whole life. Obviously that's what all I have to say. I think we all love drawing, but only seriously for about 5 years. And 5 years is a long time, right? Like 5 years to get to where I am now, and I still don't know things like composition, lighting, correct colour usage, I don't know what complements, blah blah blah, I don't know all that. I just draw what I like, okay? There's still a lot I need to learn, but yeah, so that's 5 years to get to where I am now, and I think 2 or 3 of those, 2 years of those? Yeah, 2 of those years, or 3 of those years, I was doing art that I didn't actually really enjoy. So I was doing realistic art and drawings and things, and I did it because I thought other people would like it, because I did get praised on my realistic drawings and how they looked really good, and people would say like it was really good, and when I said that I was moving into illustration, a lot of people were like, why? But that's the thing, like I was doing what made me happy then, and I've always illustrated. Like that part where I was doing realistics and things, that was trying to make other people happy, right? It wasn't trying to make me happy, and I think that's the difference. And I think in everything, it needs to be you. It needs to be you that's happy, and then other people will be happy, like I said before. But yeah, so I'm just like rambling. I'm so sorry. So yeah, I've been doing it about 5 years, and there's still so much that I need to improve on, and I look at my art sometimes, and I know it might not seem it to other people, but I do look at it and I think, this is awful, like this could be so much better. And I think we're always harder on ourselves as well. But it takes practice to improve yourself, to improve your talent, your skill and stuff, and I think what you should more focus on is the fact that you actually have the will and drive to do it, because that's pretty amazing, to not lose that desire to do it, do you know? Like, it's so easy to give up on things and move on to other things, but you haven't with whatever it is you're doing, you haven't given up. So stop comparing yourself to others, because they might be you, but like in 10 years time, okay? Or you might be them when they first started out. It's just look at it like that. Like, we're all on different paths, we're not going to be the same, and there are going to be people all the time that are more successful than us. That's just life. Unfortunately, we can't all be up there, but we're all on a journey to get there, okay? So this sounds to me like I've just rambled a load of crap, but I hope that it sees your worth, it helps you see your worth and your potential, and makes you believe in yourself a little bit more. I think we all need to do that. And focus on what you have, not what you don't have. And yeah, I think you will get very far that way. I hope you guys enjoyed like listening to me just go on about stuff, and I do really hope that it helped you and it actually got through to you and it made you appreciate yourself more. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys, and I will speak to you next time, I guess, when I need to do another speed paint and chat and try and work out what I've got to say. I feel like I never know what to say, but I'm not usually a very outgoing person anyway. Like, I find it hard to make conversation unless you know you're really feeling it. So I'm just gonna probably ramble a load of stuff about my plans, my life, and I hope you guys enjoy that. Alright, you guys, please subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I think you can turn on notifications so that you can get my videos come up every time I post. And I think that's probably helpful at the moment because I am posting quite sporadically. Like my days that I want to do are Wednesdays and Sundays, but live, so it's been a little bit all over the place. But yeah, please subscribe, like and comment. It helps and it means so much to me, and you're all amazing, as I always say. I really love you all. Bye guys. One thing I did just quickly want to say is that I'm not saying don't have goals, and I'm not saying don't try and reach those goals. Like if you want to be that person on Instagram with 80,000 followers, you do it. You go out and do it, but like don't wallow in it. Make a plan, right? Set those goals, dedicate yourself and get there, because you can. You're capable of getting there. And I think that's what I just forgot to say and I wanted to say. Okay.